Hello everybody, Jan again. Welcome into my kitchen and welcome to Goodness in Every Bite. So, today's January 28th, 2020 and I said I would do a video on how to color your icing. I think the last video I did on how to make the royal icing. Now I'm going to show you how to put color to it. Okay, this is my little stash of gel food coloring. Oops. They come in different sizes, the little small ones and the bigger one. Oops. Oh well, okay. And let's see here. And they're not like the liquid ones at all. You can actually turn them upside down, they won't fall out, which is great because sometimes I knock the container over and don't want to do that. Okay, so what we're going to do is take the lid off that. I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to show you how to do blue icing because I have upcoming cookies that I have to do. The Toronto Maple Leaf cookies. So I need blue icing. So what you want to do is just get a good scoop, tablespoon full, put it in a clean, very clean plastic bowl. Make sure you rinse it out with, give it a little bit of vinegar, spray in it and rinse it out, okay? Because you don't want any types of oils or dirt in your icing. So I'm going to do another scoop. Okay, and then always remember, please put your lid back on your container. Royal icing dries quickly. You don't want a crusty icing. So, okay, so we'll put that there. So now, see, I have a bowl of icing. So how thick it is? See, it's thick. You want it to be thick, and I will tell you why in a second. Now, where is my blue? Oh, I'm back. Okay. So what I do is I take a popsicle stick and my blue. Always use a clean popsicle stick. Don't ever reuse it, throw it out because you don't want to contaminate your jar, okay? So I'm going to grab a scoop. A little bit goes a long way, but I need a specific color, all right? So normally you don't need this much. Then put your lid back on. All right. Now you can see here, just going to spread that around. All right. I'm just going to put that in the sink. Now, okay, here we go. Stir it around. It is a bit thick right now. So at this point, I'm just going to... Okay, excuse me a second. Okay, sorry about that, we're back. So, as I was saying, what I do is, in the video that I did the royal icing in, I showed you the almond flavoring, okay, not almond extract, flavoring. So what I do to reduce this a bit is I put some of it in a spray bottle, Dollarama spray bottle, with a little bit of water in it, okay? Because I don't want to dilute the flavor of the royal icing with just plain water, so I flavor the water, okay? So I'm just going to give it a couple squeeze, or sprays I should say, and then start stirring it around. I'm just going to go like this so you can see what I'm doing, all right? And if it's still a little bit too thick, just give it, which it is a bit too thick. So I'm going to give it a few more sprays, okay? Always use a spray bottle because if you add too much water to it, you're going to have to put it in, well, you might have to just throw it out or use it on something that doesn't need a thick icing. All right, so I'm going to, okay, this is not the blue that I want, so I want it a bit darker, so I'm going to add more blue to it. There's my popsicle stick. Okay, got a new one. Always use a new one. You don't want to contaminate your jar. All right, so I'm going to add some more. Put the lid on. And then, let's see here. And then we stir, stir, stir. All right. That's actually not too bad at all. Still a little bit too thick though, so I'm going to give it just 2 more squeezes and that's it. That should be the good consistency that you want for trim icing. Now you always want to do your trim icing first because it's thicker. Okay, don't water it down to flood consistency first, because you can always add water to it, but you can't take the water out. Okay, now when you're having to do just a flood icing and not a trim, you can water it down a bit to the consistency you want, and you don't have to worry about a trim. Okay, but if you're doing a trim and a flood, always do your trim first. So what you do is I don't use the Royal Icing bags that you can buy at stores where you just put it in and you put a little tip on the end of it and squeeze it. I don't have time for that. So if it works for you, awesome, go for it. Okay, for me it doesn't. So what I use, handy little sandwich Ziploc bags. $1.97 and you get 100 of them. And when you're done, toss it out. After you do your little decorations with your leftover icing, then you throw it out. Okay? So at this point, I just put the bag inside of a cup. It's easier. And I'm going to turn the camera downward so that you can see what I'm doing, okay? Hang on. Okay, there we go. Now, remember, this is a thicker icing, okay? And I don't want a whole lot, but I want a good tablespoonful. All right, so, and then I just pop it inside the bag, and I lift it out, okay, just like that. And then you zip it up. Take out as much air as you can. Zip it up. And there you go. That's your trim icing. I put a little, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Put a little T on it for trim so you know what's what. All right? Now, for the other one, the flood, I put the little FD on it for flood, short form for flood. For me, it works for me. And then remember, always wash your hands. And then pop it into a cup. Now, at this point is where you want to reduce the thickness of your icing, because you need it to flow on your cookie. So give it 3-4 squeezes and stir it around. Okay, you just keep stirring until you get the consistency that you want. All right? And so you can use whatever color you happen to have for Valentine's, be red, black. If you don't want to decorate or add coloring to it, keep it white, which is fine. Okay, now let's see. That's, well, not too bad. A little bit too thick still. So I'm going to give it a couple more squeezes. Yeah, of the almond flavoring. Okay. Keep stirring and stirring until you get the consistency you want. All right. And then you go like this. That's what you want for a flood icing, okay? It's going to take a few tries to get it right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dump it into my Ziploc bag. Alright. And then take it out. Squeeze it a bit, pop that in the sink. Push it down a little bit. Take out as much air as you can. And zip it up. And there you go. There is your flood icing. Now what I do when I am doing cookies, I just make it kind of like this so it's easier to hang on to. But make sure your Ziploc bag is closed because you don't want it coming out the other end, which I've done many times, so talking from experience. So you just take the scissors and just snip off the tiny little tip on the end. This is the trim. You won't take too much off. Well, it depends on how thick you want your trim. That's totally up to you. If you want it very fine, take a little bit off. If you want it a little bit thicker, take a little bit more off. The flood, you don't want to take too much off because it's looser icing. It will come out a lot quicker. Okay, so you have to be careful on that. You'll get used to it after a while. All right? So you can pick up your different food gels at, I think, yeah, Walmart, I think, has it. Let's see, Bulk Barn has it, Bins and Bin has it. Here in Sturgeon, Nipsing Food and Bins has it. Her name is Carol, or not Carol, sorry, that's another lady at Bins, in North Bay, Bulk Barn, different person. Alice, her name is Alice. Wonderful person. She'll help you out a lot if you're not sure about stuff like this. Go in, say hi, get some stuff from her. So anyway, let me just put you, so when you're all stressed out, remember, keep calm and bake on. So there you go. All right, folks. So that's your video on how to color your icing. All right, so hopefully I didn't confuse you too much. I know I went through this rather quickly. I'm sorry. But yeah, if you have any questions, please comment down below. Let me know. I'll see if I can answer it for you. And don't forget to click the like button. Share, share, share. Subscribe if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate it if you do. And click the notification button if you want to see this face again. So, alright. So take care. God bless. And remember to always be a blessing and not a burden. Okay? Till the next video. Bye for now.